Gary, you good? All right, Coach, you can start us off.
Just, cannot be more proud of the group of young men and coaches, and I'm first and foremost happy and thrilled for them, and then secondly for our fans and our administration and people of Rebel Nation that have had, to go through losing the momentum in this series. I understand that that's difficult. I've lived it, I've been through it, and know how important it is to this state, to our university, and I think our kids were very aware of that tonight. I think our coaches did a great job of going through the week and making sure that whether a kid was from Tennessee or Alabama or Florida or Illinois or California, they better understand that the University of Mississippi is signing them on and paying for their scholarship here. This game is important to you. And I think our kids proved that tonight. And, regardless of how you motivate your team, every coach has to decide what is best for him and his program. I do think we went about it a little different than maybe some. We didn't play out of hatred for anyone, or it was more about playing out of love for one another in this university. And I thought that our kids proved that how they cared for one another and the way they performed tonight.
Raise your hand if you have a question.
Coach, you pretty much had your way with them in the second half. Different from the first half. What was the difference in your mind?
The difference was no two shank punts, no three turnovers, no kickoff return, no blown coverages. Really, that's if you look at the first half, the reason they scored the points they did, we blew two coverages, we gave up a kickoff return, and we shanked two punts and gave them short fields. And second half we didn't do those things. We ran the football more effectively in the second half, and really felt like we had some things in our play action pass that we could throw any time. I would have been really disappointed if we couldn't have thrown some play pass, and it was very effective to us all night. So I think though the big difference was just that, and the defense just decided at halftime we challenged them and just do your job, and we did nothing special. We didn't bring many blitzes at all. We just said, line up and do your job, and then line up and do it again. And don't give them the cheap long passes or scores. And if you're supposed to contain the quarterback, contain the quarterback. And, when we do those things, we've been pretty decent. We stopped the run tonight. For the most part, I don't know what they had rushing, but didn't feel like that they were hugely effective at rushing the football. But I just think we're so young over there that sometimes our eyes get bad. We kind of do our own thing, and good teams make you pay for that.
Coach, can you talk about Moncrief's night? Could you sense that coming? Could you smell it coming?
Yeah. He was
all week long?
All week long. We just really felt like we had a good matchup with him. And, he had about enough of hearing how good their secondary was. And felt like if given an opportunity without double coverage, he was going to win. And we happened to call some plays at the right time where they didn't have a safety rolled over the top of him, and he won.
Your first two drives in the second half, really most of it on the ground, really kind of established what you were going to do the second half, and really one to set the pass right away in the second half.
Yes, I saw at the end of the first half when we went in some tempo stuff that they really didn't like that a whole lot. And just made up my mind that at halftime we were going to sell out the first few possessions and go to our tempo stuff, and seemed to be effective for us. So I thought that kind of set the tone for us.
If the football guys had come down in late January when you fully grasped exactly what you had inherited and offered you 6-6 in a blowout win over Mississippi State, would you have taken it?
Absolutely. Yeah, as quick as I probably would have chuckled first, and but no question, I think any of us that have been anyone that's been around here or through the difficulty of the last few seasons for whatever reason. Again, I don't like to place blame. I wasn't here. You don't know what people go through till you walk in their shoes, but I know that we had some challenges, and the first thing was getting them to care and play with great attitude and effort. But I can stand here tonight, 12 games, our kids played with attitude and effort now. They gave it to us. And we didn't always finish games, and we weren't the prettiest all the time, but I can't look at any film and question their heart and their effort and the pride that they played with.
Hugh, I lost you right when the game was over there, but what did you do to celebrate? How did you celebrate, and did you ever consider a yes in the crowd tonight? I
would have loved to, but Kyle, our SID, once again, I guess, no. he had me standing there for 30 minutes with the TV. I don't know what was really going on with that, but so I really stood there and then found my wife and tried to find my kids and some of our players. And I tried to find the Egg Bowl, the trophy, and I couldn't find it, so finally I just came on in.
Coach, how important is it having an extra 4 weeks of meaningful practice for the development of the program?
That is so invaluable. I mean, to be able to now not have to prepare necessarily. I don't know, how long we'll have or any of those things. And obviously you have the holidays in there, and we're not going to grind them. But man, just to be able to go out and have another week where we just take some of our young kids. I mean, we have kids like Tamario Strong and Carlos Thompson and those guys that DJ Bailey. Man, I think they're going to be good players, and we can go out there and cut them loose a little bit.
The final score probably doesn't show it, but didn't the play Sawyer made at the end of the half that saved the touchdown and forced the field goal? That was pretty big at the time, wasn't it?
That's why you play every play. You play it to the whistle blows, and no question that was a big play in the deal. To go in tied and not down, I thought it was big, and for him to, it was a blown coverage, but for him to hustle, stop it, and then us hold him to a field goal, I think you're exactly right. Big play.
Coach, Dan Mullen, as soon as the game was over, said he didn't regret saying the video that got made and said that the team will never lose to Ole Miss again. Did you talk to him after the game? Did you even get to meet him at midfield?
Yeah, we met, and I just shook his hand.
Coach, what about Pena, a senior from Yonkers, New York, and played so well in the second half? Because, like you said, he stopped the run. Because I noticed, I zoomed in on him, and it looked like 2 or 3 plays. He came from the backside and made a couple of plays.
Gilbert's had a phenomenal year. People don't realize how good he is. He's going to get a shot in the league somewhere in one of these 3-4 defenses, playing a nose guard. And last night at the hotel, we had our seniors. They gave them the opportunity to stand up and share a little bit about what today meant to them. And his was one of the more powerful ones. And even though he wasn't from around here, he was talked about never feeling the essence of family and love like he has this year, and that he promised he would lay it on the line today, and he did.
Hugh, as you went through this week and even the pregame, did you feel like your team was capable of this, or did they surprise you the way?
Felt like it all week.